drinking competition for
Yeah.
for the
Jug.
person. Yeah. That actually probably be. Hey Dan,
Hi, Elise.
thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, as you see, I'm set up.
I see that.
I'm ready to kick back to the 90s.
All right. I've been there.
Well, one thing like we've talked about before, like just hanging out at the bar or whatever, the tape trading days
Yeah.
and like the times of old in the 90s. I kind of wanted to kick off there because I thought it was really cool how Ton got started and, pretty much how you guys got on the death metal scene. And for anyone who's never heard of Ton, around here, people know who Ton are, but and across the world, I'm assuming, or at least across the states, you guys have had uh, different gigs, but it's pretty cool. Like just before the days of social media, how you got your band out there.
Yeah. And the way we got started in that was Buddy Mitchell from the band Drogheda. He introduced us to that. And when he told me about it, it kind of like blew my mind a little bit. I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. There's this whole network of bands in this extreme style of music that all connect just through the mail. And so he gave me a bunch of flyers because that's how you did it back in the day.
Yeah.
When you send out demo tapes, you send your flyers, but you also send other bands flyers out too. So he gave me a bunch to get started. And he's like, just write to these people, wait for them to write back. You confirm a trade or whatever, and you get started that way. So I started doing that, and once I started doing it, it was just like it was so cool to me that I could just take my demo tape and stick it in the mail, and it's going to go to Indonesia, or it's going to go to Germany, it's going to go all over the world. And then I sit patiently or impatiently at home waiting, or you go to the mailbox and something shows up and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, this band wrote me back and or sent me their tape or whatever. And so I discovered all these bands that I'd never heard of, and it was a really good way to network. And I was just all about it. So I did it as much as I could. It took a lot of time and effort to do because you had to handwrite the letters and package it up. And most people would respond, but sometimes they wouldn't. But that's okay. You could get lost in the mail or whatever. But it just sometimes I spent way too much money at the post office. I didn't necessarily have that much money to spend at the post office, but I would do it anyway just because I just like doing it so much. And I just thought it was so cool that you could connect with people. And, 20 years later, people were still contacting me, like, well, mainly like when we reformed the band.
Right.
People, oh, I remember you guys. And it'd be people from all over the world, not just
Right.
people from our town of Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
So it really made me feel good that because we did that. It was mostly me, but we did that. People remembered us.
Yeah. And how do you feel now, like compared to the time, care? Now you have this like immediacy in the social media world, but I also feel like it's not feel if there's it's very saturated, that market, and to like get your name and put yourself in front of people, and it's not quite as personal as like handwriting a letter, sending somebody a tape. Everything's just streaming. Do you think that that made a difference in how somebody connected with the music then?
It's definitely very different. Um, I try to, rather than being the guy that's always like, "Oh, it was just better then," and I hate everything new. I've tried to adapt with the times because the times change, and if you don't,
Yeah.
you get left behind. So it's definitely very different in the sense that you can just get on your computer and find anything at any time.
Yeah.
But I don't, and it is saturated, but I don't want to say it's a bad thing because nowadays you can record a demo or a song, a demo, an album, or whatever at your home, and you could put it out there almost immediately, and that's a cool thing too.
Yeah.
Lots of people can get their music out there, and at the end of the day, that's what musicians want to do. They want to get their music out there. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be the guy that's like, it's this new school stuff, or the internet killed whatever. It's just different, and you
Different.
need to adapt to it.
Yeah. And ton has since been laid to rest,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, but your focus seems to be like 72 legions now. Vicar, not Vicar.
Sounds so proper.
Let me be British about it or something. That's a terrible British accent. But how do you say it?
Bicker Blood.
Vicar. Hey. um, but we'll start with 72 legions because that's. Are you guys planning on doing some more tours? I know, like here and there, you'll pop up on a show, but Curran seems very busy as
Yeah,
well.
when I joined 72 Legions, I came in to play bass because they needed a bass player. And Curran had a tour lined up, which ultimately did not happen, but I was having a great time with the band and the guys were all super cool. So we just kept at it. And eventually, we did some local stuff
Yeah.
and eventually went on tour with Venom Inc. And going on tour with Venom Inc. that one time has turned into Curran playing in Venom Inc. And our drummer Colton, um, Jeremy Kling was the drummer in Venom Inc. at that time, and he's also the drummer and vocalist of Inhuman Condition.
Oh, cool.
So Colton was teching for him on the tour, and so they became friends. And now Colton's been touring, playing drums with Inhuman Condition. Through drumming in Inhuman Condition, he met a guy that I think he was a tour manager that plays in Seven Kingdoms, and so
Okay.
now he's been touring with Seven Kingdoms. So I think he's at the end of this year he's doing both. So um, yeah, that we were really gonna go
Good.
for it, and we were starting to do that. I mean, we went to Europe with Cryptopsy and Atheist,
Yeah.
and yeah, we were all about it. And but then our band kind of got picked apart by other bands, and that became the priority for those guys.
Which is
So
understandable if you're a
very understandable.
musician and
I'm definitely not mad at them for taking good
opportunities.
opportunities.
Yeah.
It has been a little bit of a struggle for me because um, I've changed roles in the band multiple
Right.
times.
Because you were like going back and you're like, well, now I got to do vocals. And now you've added guitar with the vocals.
Yeah, I played bass for I don't know if it was 2 years or close to it or whatever. And then when we got back from the Venom Inc. tour, our vocalist left because he didn't want to tour, and so I said, well, playing bass was fun, but
Yeah.
I'm a guitar player, so I wasn't in love with playing bass, even though it was fun. And so when we needed a vocalist, I said, well, look, I haven't done vocals in a very long time. I said, I'm pretty sure I know I can do it. I just need some time to practice and get myself back in
Warmed
shape.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, because I never considered myself like a great vocalist, but I'd done vocals in the past, and I thought that if I put enough time and effort into it, I could be decent at it. And so that's the direction we moved, was me on vocals and find a bass player. Well, I was thinking that I was going to have 4, 5 months to practice. Nope. Then we find out we're going to Europe with Atheist and Cryptopsy. And I kind of had a meltdown at one point. I'm just like, oh God, like, can I go to Europe and be
Am
the
I
vocalist
ready?
for this band? And ultimately, I just worked my ass off. I did it. I think I did pretty well at it. I had a blast. It's fun going from the bass player in the back that a lot of people don't pay attention to. No shade on bass players, because I,
No.
I totally
It's
gained I always respected bass players, but I had a whole new respect when I was playing bass.
especially playing with a
And
guy like Jeff Shepler for so long
yeah,
too. Like,
well, that's another thing. When I came into 72 Legions, I was playing with a pick because it was easy and I could, I'm a guitar
yeah.
player. I could follow everything the guitar was
Then he
doing.
became a real bass
And
player.
then, yeah, because I played with Jeff Shepler, I think in the back of my mind, I was like, I need to start playing with my fingers. So I started practicing with my fingers a lot. And my goal was to be ready to do that when we did that Venom Inc. tour, which I did. I did the whole tour playing with my fingers. And, I wasn't an expert at it, but I got pretty good at it. And if I would have continued, I think I would have been really good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you still
and
play bass at all, or
only for recording purposes
okay?
at home.
Fair enough. Fair
But
enough.
I forget where I was in the story, but
My fault too.
that's all right.
I had to go bring up
But
Jeff.
oh yeah, but anyway, so yeah, as far as 72 Legions goes, I don't know what's going to happen with that band. I would love to see it continue at some point, but Curran and Colton are both going out on the road again later this year, so it's going to be shelved for a while.
I see.
And what I was going to say was I changed roles multiple times because I played bass, then I switched to vocals, and then when we got back from Europe, our guitar player quit, and coming back from Europe, the idea was that Jeff was never going to be in the band. He didn't want to be. He was just filling in. So I was going to switch to bass and vocals. And then
Yeah.
when Rob quit the band, the guitar player, I was like, well, I don't want to play bass. I want to play guitar. And if I can
Right.
play bass and do vocals, I can play guitar and do vocals. And so I worked really hard to be able to do that. And ultimately, I'm glad I did it. I proved to myself that I could do it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of there for me now. But it was also a little frustrating that I put so much time and effort in a band just kind of gets shelved. But
Yeah.
I'm like I said, those guys had great opportunities, and I am definitely not upset at them for that.
Yeah.
They're my friends, and I
And,
want them to do well.
exactly. And I mean, it's great skills to pick up and learn, but I hear
Yeah.
you. And especially because you, I mean, you do a lot. You have a business, you work full time, and then uh, Bicker Blood. I saw Mutual Hostility has things going on now. Well, you just did a video and you're filling in, or you're a member of Mulciber now.
Yep, I'm officially in Mulciber now. So yeah, kind of like four different things going on, but Mutual Hostility has never played live. We
Yeah.
have talked about it from time to time. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I don't see it being like a full-time thing. Um, 72 is going on the shelf. Bicker Blood, we're kind of building that band, so there's going to be a little bit of time with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just try to stay busy. I love playing music. I love music. I love metal. Um, so I just try to stay busy with it.
Well, and you've always just been such a great musician. I know, and like when I met you, um, you were Time was, I think, just starting to be active again and
I think
do
so because
more.
I was playing and fully consumed at that time,
Yes, yes,
and
that's right.
Ton was kind of getting going again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you were growing your hair back out.
Yeah, I had it short. I had it like long all through my 20s. It was short through my 30s, and then late into my 40s, I was like, "Fuck, I'm growing it
Yeah, and
back."
I was just starting to like. I mean, I played like more like punk and like the punk and just at end of sludge before, and then I was getting more technical. And it was actually you. I still use your picking technique. You told me how to hold my pick different, and it really changed my ability to like get more speed with and control in my wrist. And very thankful
Yeah, I
for
remember
that.
you would message me just from time
Yeah,
to time with questions, and I thought it was cool because, um, yeah, when I met you, I thought you were really cool and nice and everything, and then you started reaching out from time to time, so I got to know you a little better, and then we
yeah.
bump into each other here and there.
Yeah, no, but you've always just been very open, like, and you have you create YouTube content too, where you do playthroughs and
I do. I think I started leaning into social media and YouTube a little more like quite a few years ago. And I think part of my motivation for that was, like I said earlier, times were a changing,
yeah,
but also I wanted to do more than what I was doing. And um, kind of felt at times that some of the people I was doing things with just didn't want to do as much as I wanted to. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if I keep creating content and putting myself out there on YouTube, I mean, who knows what opportunity that might bring me.
yeah. What kind of connections you'll make,
Yeah,
and
I always had the dream of playing in Europe, and
you
ultimately
did
that
it.
happened. It didn't happen because somebody found me on YouTube, but it still
It
happened.
still happened, yeah. I mean, and for like somebody in America, that's a big deal, to get over the pond, across the pond, whatever that
Yeah,
saying is, and
yeah.
then
I think most musicians dream of that. American
yeah,
musicians,
yeah, and over
and vice
there,
versa
yeah,
too.
they're like,
Yeah,
I want to get to America. So that's,
exactly.
I mean, anywhere you can take that and any opportunity you have to do that. Do you find it hard to kind of like produce content, juggle playing in bands, being a musician, and your professional life? Or,
It can get challenging, but I try to put a little bit of time into something every day. I don't do it every day. Obviously, life happens.
yeah,
Sometimes you can't play your guitar that day or whatever, but I try to do a little bit of something musical every day. And I try to focus on whatever I need at that moment. And sometimes things pile up. Like I had a show with 72 Legions this week. Then I had to make a video with Mutual Hostility on Friday. Then I had Vicar Blood practice on Saturday and all this stuff. To be honest, by the end of the day yesterday, I sat on the couch and I was just like, ah, like okay, it was a lot,
yeah,
but I love it. I wouldn't change it. Um, I just love metal. I love playing, and that's what I want to do.
yeah, and whatever way you can fit it in.
Yep.
Has your this is something I tend to ask people, especially who've been playing music a long time. Has your definition of success changed from, say, like the 90s, the early days of ton to present day, like what it means to be successful as a musician?
Probably. I mean, when you're young, you think success is just doing big things, whatever that might be. Whether I don't know whether it's money or just playing big shows or big tours or whatever. And then as time goes on, you start to realize that the money or big tour or whatever, it might never happen for you. And so you have to just put the time and energy in to what you want to do, what you love, try to be the best that you can be, and have, most importantly, have fun doing it. And even though you're having fun doing it, it does get challenging at times, whether it's like we were talking earlier, whether you're on the road and things don't go how you thought they should go or you wanted them to go, or you run into things.
Yeah,
But so yeah, I guess so. I mean, I feel like at this point I want to do more. I definitely don't feel anywhere near done, but at the same time, I also know that you have to be happy with the accomplishments that
for,
you have that you have.
for sure. Do you think you would have the ability to like tour more full time, or is that something you would have to do depending on the time of year with work and all of that?
Yeah. Well, when I joined 72 Legions, one of the things I really liked about that band was Curran Murphy, the guitar player. He's kind of his band in a way. He put a lot of the money into it. He has a recording studio, so that he would handle all that. But he was the most motivated person I'd ever worked with, and
Okay.
so I was like, "Whoa, okay, I need to start like thinking about my job and like if we because he wanted to tour a lot,
Yeah,
and I wanted to be able to do it, but it would be difficult with
logistically.
because I own a business and it's hard to just walk away from that for a month or whatever.
Mm,
But I was definitely thinking in a way of I need to figure out how to do that because I want to do these things. And I'm still thinking that way. Over the winter, I saw that Malevolent Creation was looking for a guitar player. So I hit up Phil because we had met back in the 90s. He remembered me.
yeah,
I was trying to join that band and I was thinking, if I actually get in that band, that's going to be some serious touring and
for
I'm going
sure.
to have to make adjustments to make that happen. But which ultimately did not happen. I made some playthrough videos and we did talk and ultimately they got somebody else.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm a little more willing to risk it, but I think I'm in a little better position also because I'm a little older now and it's not like I mean my house is almost paid for. I don't have the bills that I had when I was younger. My
yeah,
business is smaller than it used to be by choice, so it's a little easier
nice.
to handle those things. So, but there is risk involved, and I am a little more willing to take the risk, I
Right, and your
think.
son's older now too.
That's
That's
another thing. My son's now 19, so yeah,
yeah.
he's an adult. So yeah,
So it's in your eyes, like if the right opportunity came up, you're like, I'm there.
I
I'm
would
I'm going.
really try to make it happen.
Yeah. Do you think maybe like Bicker Blood could go in that direction? Everybody seems pretty motivated.
I think it's very possible because the vocalist Veda, she is extremely motivated. She has been in some bands in the past, but she's never had a situation, a really great situation. And and actually, the whole band kind of happened by accident, but I'm glad it did because she's very motivated. We're motivated to try and make it happen, and so we're taking it slow in the sense that we haven't played a show yet, but behind the scenes we're doing a lot,
Yeah,
and we're trying to get a little traction on social media and Spotify, and kind of go that direction. And we have a couple things that could be big for us that I can't really talk about, and it's not 100% confirmed at the
right.
moment, but yeah, we're hoping to do some really cool stuff with that band.
I wish you guys the best of luck. I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see you guys play a show. What I've
Yeah,
heard has been
yeah,
nice and brutal, and
we picked up a drummer and Steve Fernandez, who's a good friend of mine that also plays in 72 Legions, is playing bass. We just picked up another guitar player. His name is Will, super nice guy. We had our
awesome.
first practice with him yesterday. He seems very skilled and very cool, and he has toured before.
That's a big thing because,
Yeah,
like you and I were talking about, like I think it's important if you're in a band, like regardless of where you can play, making sure you're getting up on the stage a bunch because every stage can be like way different.
Yep.
And if you don't have like in ears and all these and your own sound person, I like the last several years, it's been really nice, for lack of a better word, to like get that experience playing in different environments, having different things go wrong, and learning how to. I think that's really the mark of like becoming a better musician. Like you want to get out there and play perfect every fucking night.
Yeah.
That's the dream. It's not
Reality.
reality.
Yeah. That's for sure.
And we're our own worst critics.
Yes.
For sure. But that to me is like the big difference between a more professional, seasoned musician and somebody when you're just starting out and getting used to playing on stage, is like your ability to play through something, to not make it seem. Eddie Van Halen said, you make a mistake, just do it again. Like,
Yeah.
or not exactly what he said, but that was the gist.
Yeah, yeah, and every stage is different, so it's always going to sound different. It's not going to be perfect, probably ever.
Mm,
And so, yeah, you just have to get used to fighting through it and
yeah.
like you said, you just become more seasoned. And if it's not ideal, it's not that big of a deal.
And like half the time you realize like I'll hear footage back sometimes where I think I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
that probably sucked. I don't feel because I couldn't hear, or it sounds like you're in a fishbowl or something, and then you're on Instagram later or something, and somebody popped a story, and you're like, oh damn, that actually, yeah, the sound guy did know what they were
that
doing. I
just
just
it just happened to me this week because, like I was telling you earlier, we played a show, and as soon as I hit the mic, it was just very loud vocals and feedback, and I'm like, oh shit. And yeah, I saw some video and I was like, oh, okay, I actually sounded all right.
that's awesome. Well, we can wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Any projects coming up? Things people need to check out?
I would just say find me on social media and YouTube, and I update things on there pretty regularly, and all my projects, you find out about them on there.
And I'll be sure to put a link in the caption. And I put together a post, and I'll put all your socials and different projects you're working on, so you can have
Cool,
one
I
place to
appreciate
go
that. Yeah.
pop and find all the links.
All right. Well,
And
thanks for
things.
having me. I was secretly hoping you were going to ask me.
Oh, I was trying to get a couple under my belt, so like I like trying to get the rhythm of everything. But
Yeah.
you were high up on my list of people to ask, and I'm really happy that you did it.
Yeah, I'm
And I'll
glad you
probably
asked me.
have you again at some point.
Cool. Hopefully, I have some things to talk about then. New
I'm
things.
sure. I'm sure with as busy as you are. I'm sure. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.